Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to the workshop you'll soon be seeing on an episode of Hoarders. Today we're taking a look at my 5-gallon Harbor Freight oil dolly. I bought this back when I was a kid and I started doing oil changes. I thought looking like a real mechanic might make me a real mechanic. It did not. All it did was fill me with shame for buying a tool. Main problems with this guy: A, it's 5 gallons, so if you do more than a couple oil changes in a day, it fills up. You think, well, that's not a big deal, we'll just drain it. Well, here's the problem with draining it. The cap, which I had to put a vent on because there is no vent on it, so when you pour oil in, it just goes glub, glub, glub. So I put a cap on it. It still sucks, though, because it never really tightens. It just spins and spins and spins, so that never seals tight. You would never want this in your car or something on the way to the parts store. As soon as you hit a bump, it's going to tilt over and ruin your upholstery. Once the oil level is high enough where you actually need to drain it, it's going to be coming out of here too. So there's no easy way to drain this thing. I've gone through more rags cleaning up messes from draining it than I would have if I just drained the oil directly onto my floor. So we're going to fix that by putting a pump in it. This is the pump I'm going to be using. It's it's another Harbor Freight tool. Something poetic about using Harbor Freight tools to fix other Harbor Freight tools. It's the Drummond drill pump. It's got 3/4 inch ports on either side for a hose, and it, well, you don't need to worry about motors or anything because you can just hook it up to your drill and pump it out that way. So this video is going to be less about putting a pump on an oil dolly and more about Rivnuts. Some of you may have heard of these. I certainly hadn't when I first started working, and couldn't figure out what these were. What these are essentially rivets, but instead of leaving you with a closed hole on top, they leave you with a nice threaded hole. These are perfect anytime you need to put a threaded hole into some metal where you don't have access to the other side, so you can't put a nut on it. It's also good for very thin metal that you don't want to weld on, because it's too thin, or say you're putting a power window regulator in a 1980 Corvette and you don't want to burn it down by welding in there. You just drill a couple of these in there and you can bolt right up to it. So this is what we're going to use to mount the pump onto our drum. As you can imagine, installing specialty hardware requires specialty tools. This is called a Rivnut installation tool. There's another kind that looks like a traditional rivet gun. They're a lot more expensive, and if you're not doing it all the time professionally, these are much cheaper and a much better way to do it. About 25 bucks on McMaster-Carr, but you know, it lasts you a lifetime. This one is sized M4. Those are the screws we're going to use. It also comes with this. That goes into here. It's reverse threaded. What you do is you drill a hole, in this case a 1/4 inch hole, into the metal, insert the rivet nut, push this up against it, thread in the screw that came with the tool. If you ever over tighten this, it's going to snap off, and the tool only comes with one, so while you're at the store, get a couple. And then all you have to do, because it's reverse threaded, is hold this with one end of the wrench and this with another wrench, and as you tighten it, it will pull this and squish it just like a regular rivet, and that will leave you with a nice, clean, professional looking hole. Before we go installing the Rivnuts onto the drum, let's just do a quick demo of how a Rivnut actually works. So what you need to do, drill out the hole. In this case, this one's 1/4 inch. Let's use some scrap metal I had lying around here. Take your Rivnut, insert it into the hole that you just drilled. Take your Rivnut tool, make sure it's fully seated. It's reverse threaded, so turn it left all the way, get it nice and tight. Take the screw that came with it, or one of the ones that you bought because you already broke the one that came with it. Screw that in to the Rivnut through the tool and get it snug. And you take 2 wrenches. In this case, it's 11/16 and 7/8. And you tighten one against the other. And what that will do is cause this to enlarge and lock it into the hole, just like a regular rivet. You don't want to go until it breaks like a regular rivet. Just a couple turns, use your calibrated torque wrench arm. And then we'll just take this screw back out. Oh, no, we can't. It's stuck. Gotta go back in. Take the tension off. Then you can take the screw out. And what that will leave you with is a nice, professional, clean-looking threaded hole. Now, if you look down here, you'll see I've already installed 2 Rivnuts into this drum. I did it without thinking, and I had it on backwards. It actually has to go like this, which means, how am I supposed to get my drill on there? Yeah, measure once, drill 4 times, right? So we're not going to use those Rivnuts. I marked 2 new holes, and we're going to install it over here. You want to make sure that A, the orientation is right, because it only pumps one way, and you also want to make sure that whatever you're using to go into the oil is flexible enough to make that turn. What I'm using is a couple of these cheap washing machine hoses. I got the shortest one I could find at the hardware store, and I just cut it in half. It threads right on there, goes into the oil tank, and then this one threads on here and goes into my waste container. So we'll just mark 2 holes with our center punch, another Harbor Freight tool, fixing another Harbor Freight tool. I think if I push too hard, this steel might just puncture right through. Pretty cheap. Alright, drill the holes. So we've got our 2 Rivnuts and our Rivnut tools. We'll go ahead and install the Rivnuts. Push them into the hole. Now, in this day and age where you can, read reviews on anything, if you buy something and it turns out to be a piece of crap you can't really use, I kind of think it's on you. So, while some people might buy this and then just return it because they don't want it, my Teutonic pride will not let me give up on something. Teutonic pride. Teutonic stubbornness is what it is. So, that's why you see me putting work and effort into throwaway tools like this. Forgot that it was reverse thread for a second there. Couple turns till it gets good and tight. Click, and then back it off. There's one. There we go. Now, if you look at the website, this is clearly advertised as for pumping water. It says not for chemical use, but I don't want to be that bag, but technically water is as much a chemical as oil is. But realistically, I've been using it for a while with oil, and it works fine. So I've got 2 screws started already with some washers on them. Just slip that in there. And tighten these things down. There we go. Solid as a rock. We'll take this cap off. Get one hose. Stick it into our dinosaur blood. Screw it on one end. Get our drain pan for the other end. Alright, we have our hoses hooked up, one going into the tank and one going out to our drain pan. The old drill's hooked up to it. Make sure you know which direction it's supposed to turn, otherwise, it ain't gonna work. See what happens. There we go. Give her the beans. That pump's pretty good, I'd say. Now, obviously, you wouldn't be using a drain pan for this. That kind of defeats the purpose. But you could stick this into your 5-quart, 4-quart, whatever bottle of oil, seal it up nice and tight, and take it to the auto parts store safely without risk of spilling. Is it elegant? No, but it is simple, and it works, and it keeps one more Harbor Freight tool out of the landfill. Thanks for watching.